Well, we're happy at 14-3. We're not happy with 1-3 in the SEC, but certainly we've got off to a good start. We've got a young team with a lot of potential. All three of the games that we lost really were probably one-possession games going into the last minute to 2 minutes. So I think we've proven we can really play with anybody in the SEC. Unfortunately, we've dropped a few of those games, so we're 1-3 and backs against the wall a little bit early, but. I just still like this bunch. I think they got an incredible amount of potential, and once again, capable stepping on the floor and winning their next game and the one after that if they play well.
Okay, your first questions come from Blake Topmeyer from the Columbia Daily Tribune.
Coach, good morning.
Hey, Blake.
Question. So many teams in the league this year, again, have established themselves as great defensive teams and great rebounding teams, and your squad's certainly up there. Why do you think this conference has established itself as such in terms of defense and rebounding?
Well, I don't think it's any different than it is in football. I think we reside in the Deep South, a tremendous amount of athletes with great potential. You look at SEC football, and what are they known for? They win championships, but they win championships with defense and running the football. And I think women's basketball in the SEC is the same way. You win with defense, and rebounding is kind of the equivalent of running the football. It's like controlling the games of possession. So this league's always been that way a little bit, but I think you've really got some defensive-minded coaches that have come in the league. Like Dawn does a great job. My wife, Nikki, does a great job coordinating our defenses. Andy Landers has always put an emphasis on it. Vic Schaefer, a new coach at Mississippi State, puts a lot of emphasis on it. So, it's really become the handle of the SEC, and I think that's probably what started to elevate this league overall in terms of their wins and losses.
Another question for you. Just the two teams that were sort of the favorites coming into this, Kentucky and Tennessee, have a couple losses. I mean, do you expect a lot of parity in the league this year? Or are we going to see some dominant teams shake out in the end?
I think the league top to bottom is better than it's ever been. I don't care. You go back 25, 30 years. It's the best it's ever been in terms of parity. It's near the best that it's ever been in terms of just the level of competition. I mean, you look at what we did outside the conference, I think our winning percentage was 82%, and I think that's the highest that it's been in like 15 years and maybe the third highest in the history. So we've had lots of coaching changes over the last 5, 6, 7 years, but we brought in a lot of fresh coaches, young, energetic people that have worked really hard, recruited well, and I just don't think people around the country really understand how good this league is. I know everybody fights for their own league and says our league is best from top to bottom, but I think in the SEC you're looking at 12 teams that are good enough to be in the NCAA, and we all know we're going to be lucky to get 7 or 8 again, no matter what we do. And so, that makes it tough when your 12th place team can beat your first place team.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
If you have a question for Coach Collen, press *1 now. And Coach, while we're waiting, you play at Georgia on Thursday, and then you host Ole Miss on Sunday. Could you just talk a little bit about those two games?
Well, the Ole Miss is an interesting matchup. Georgia and coached by Andy Landers has been in the NCAA, 18, 19 straight years. Never been off to an 0-4 start, so their backs are against the wall. I know what that feels like. We started the league 0-4 one year, and I think ended up finishing 10-6 and had the best year that we've ever had. That was just a couple years ago. So I know what it's like. I know how he's going to coach those kids to respond. I've told my players we're going to go down there and we're going to get one or two things. We're going to run into a team if they get off to a slow start and they're a little browbeaten and knocked down a little bit, or we're going to run into a team that's going to be shot out of a cannon and they're just going to come after us like they've never seen before. So obviously we've got to be prepared for the latter, and it'll be a tough game, I think, for that reason. And then one way or the other in the SEC, you move on. You win, you lose, you go back and you practice the next day, prepare for the next team, and you get ready to play. And that'll be our mindset with Ole Miss, regardless of what happens at Georgia.